Hi artists, and welcome back to art class. This week you are going to do a still life drawing for me. Now think about it. What do you think a still life drawing would be a drawing of? All right, let me spell that out for you. A still life. All right. I'll give you a couple clues. All right. The word still indicates that, what do you think? Do you think this would have objects that are moving around or objects that stay completely still? Objects that stay completely still. So you're not going to do a still life of a hamster because I don't really think anyone has a hamster that would pose for a picture that long. But you are going to choose some objects in your house that you can put in front of you and that will stay there until you're done drawing them. And a still life means that you're not drawing from a photograph, you're drawing from objects that are right in front of you. Now for this still life, I want you to choose two objects. I want you to choose two things. I want you to choose one that is large and one that is small. So since I'm here in the art room, I decided to choose two objects. My large object, you can see them right over here. My large object is my container of hand sanitizer. I didn't want to go too big. I thought about drawing my water bottle, but I didn't want to make it too much bigger. Unless maybe I switch it out. I'm thinking either my hand sanitizer or my water bottle. But I'm thinking the hand sanitizer because I really like the shape and I want something like a little bit more different to draw shape-wise. So I'm going to stick with the hand sanitizer. And my small object is a glue stick. You definitely want two objects that are different in size from each other in terms of height. And that's also going to determine how you're going to hold your paper. So for example, because I'm doing the sanitizer and the glue stick, I can hold my paper horizontally. But if I were to, instead of the hand sanitizer, draw my water bottle, I would definitely take my paper and I would turn it vertically because I'm going to need a lot of space because of how tall my water bottle is. So look at the two objects that you've picked. And if you have an object that is like super, super tall, you're going to want to hold your paper vertically. Otherwise, you can also hold your paper horizontally. And you are going to do your best with a pencil and an eraser, no pens, no markers on this one, all pencil, to draw the objects as you see them in front of you. All right, I know that probably sounds very intimidating, but I just want to see you do your best. So you're definitely going to need a pencil. Can't hurt to have an eraser on hand as well. Now, whenever you're drawing an object, here's the thing. I want you to try sketching. What sketching is a method that artists use. Well, a lot of times when you're just drawing out a picture, you hear someone say, oh, okay, well, let me sketch it out before I color it in, or let me sketch it out. When you're sketching, you're using tiny little lines to draw the shape of something. So for example, the shape of my sanitizer is kind of rounded at the top here. So instead of taking it and trying to draw one line that is perfectly the shape of my hand sanitizer, I'm going to sketch it out. So I am going to, let me just kind of reposition my objects in front of me so I can see them. I had them so you guys could see them. But once you set up your objects, you're not going to move them. They're going to stay there until you're done with your picture. And you're only doing two objects, so this really shouldn't take that long. So constantly looking back and forth between my paper and my objects, I'm going to sketch out my picture of my hand sanitizer and my glue stick. I'm going to move my glue stick up just a smidge. And I'm going to kind of just roughly mark out that my hand sanitizer is about this tall and my glue stick is about where the round part is. So if I draw, this is where the pump's going to be. Here's the pump of my hand sanitizer. Now I'm also looking down on it too, so it's going to depend on the angle that you're looking down. Now I'm not putting in a whole bunch of details right now, I'm just lightly sketching out. So you see how I keep moving my pencil with like little lines. I'm not trying to draw one perfect line. I'm using little lines and you're sketching it. You're drawing very, very lightly too. So it might be a little hard for you to see, and I will move this closer to you so you can kind of see the sketchiness of my lines. I know I keep saying that word sketchy, but that's literally the only way to describe it, is it's tiny little lines, and you draw very lightly so that in case you do need to erase, you can erase without leaving marks on your paper. You don't want to be pressing really hard into the paper, okay? You just want to press very lightly. And you're just going to try and make it look as realistic as possible. So here's the smaller part of my pump. I'm also not speeding up this part of the video. Usually I speed up the parts where I draw, but I want you guys to actually watch the process of me creating this picture. Now actually, as I'm drawing, I have realized that I have made my drawing a little bit almost too big, but that's okay. I tend to do that a lot. So here's the side of my container. I may have just made it the right size. So you can really see my sketchy lines here. It's not perfect lines. So here is my hand sanitizer. And I'm definitely going to add my label. Now, you know, if you're drawing an object that has a label on it, all right, you only really have to draw the label. I'm not going to do, like, I might do the little symbol that's here. Like I'll do like the shape of the symbol, but I'm not going to worry about drawing the lettering and all of those perfect little details. I just want you to worry about drawing the object and trying to make it look realistic. So you can see that this is my hand sanitizer. Now I want to draw the glue stick the way that it looks next to the hand sanitizer. So am I going to draw a giant glue stick? No, because the glue stick's not the same size as my hand sanitizer. It's smaller. So what I'm trying to see you do with this project is I want you to draw it the way that it looks in front of you. Now, when I'm looking at my objects right now, my glue stick is about the height of like right here. Like I can literally take my finger and see where it comes up, and it comes up right here. And that's gonna help me figure out that my glue stick is about this big compared to my hand sanitizer. Now my glue stick's pretty easy to draw. I wanted to pick something simple because all that a glue stick really is it's a cylinder. You know, it's just a skinny cylinder with a cap. Here's my glue. Here's the bottom of my cylinder. Now remember, a cylinder does not have a flat bottom. It's rounded. It's like a can, you know, it goes around. It is a three-dimensional form. So I'm going to make sure that my lines are round. Draw some lines in the bottom of my glue stick. All right, and here's my glue stick. I'm not going to worry about, you know, drawing the exact thing. You know, if I want to, I could kind of mark like, you know, here's where some of the decorations are. All right, so here is my still life sketch. Now, if you want to take it to a new level and if you want to try this, you can also try adding a little bit of value to make your still life look a little bit more realistic. And when you're adding value, you're adding light and dark to a picture to make it look 3D. Because even though I drew it curved and stuff in the right size, it still looks a little bit flat. But if you look at my hand sanitizer, if I hold it close, you guys can see that the way that the light hits my hand sanitizer container, it's lighter over here. And then because the light is up there on the ceiling, it's not hitting here the right way. So see how it's darker and it slowly gets lighter, like the white is a little bit brighter on the top and it's a little bit darker underneath. You can show that in your photo to make it look more realistic. So let me put it back where I had it. And I'm going to use my pencil. Now you can hold it the regular way, or sometimes I change my grip and I actually hold it near the end and I use the side of my pencil to help me do that. But I'm going to add just a little bit of value to my picture. Now listen, this isn't going to be perfect. It doesn't have to look just like mine. I got a little bit of value on the side of my pump here. Okay, there's a little bit underneath here. A lot of my value, darker values, are on the sides of my pump. They're a little bit lighter over here because this is where the light's hitting it, and they're a little bit darker over here. And you just don't want to press on your pencil too hard. You know, you want to show that value. Like it's dark and it slowly gets lighter. And that starts to make my hand sanitizer pump look a little bit more realistic. It's a little bit lighter here. All right. Now it's kind of hard for me to do the stuff on the inside here because it's not a solid container. It literally has the clear liquid in it. So maybe even if I want to, I could even, you know, do a little bit of value on the side of my container to make it look 3D. I can see some of the bubbles from the hand sanitizer on the inside, so I could draw that, you know, if I want to. My glue stick is a little bit easier for me to show some value on, okay? So it doesn't have to be a perfectly realistic drawing. It doesn't have to look like a photograph. But I just want you to give it a shot, okay? One more thing that you can do is my objects are on a desk, and you guys can see it right here in the video. You can see a shadow that's being cast by the object, and that shows me that it's on a surface. So next to your object, I can use the side of my pencil to show a little bit of a shadow that's being cast by my objects, and I'm going to draw a horizon line behind them just to show that they were on a surface. So if I take my picture down to show you guys, here is my still life drawing of my hand sanitizer and my glue stick, okay? So I want you to choose one large object and one smaller object, put them next to each other and draw them so that I can see that one object is larger and one object is smaller. And then have a little fun with it, add a little value, try and make it look realistic. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? It doesn't. Just do your absolute best. Take a picture of it and send it to me so I can see it. And I can't wait to see what kind of objects you decide to draw from your house. All right, have fun, be creative as always, and always do your best. And I will see you guys again next time. All right, bye.